I'm Lauren Kelly.
And I'm Chelsea Beers, and you are listening to...
It's ApPARENT. Because for some people, it's just not obvious.
A weekly podcast where we discuss and laugh about parenting, all the joys and sorrows, and all the special parts of us that died as individuals. While drinking booze.
Cheers! Hey, everybody.
Hi.
How's it going?
Here we are.
Man.
Again. Right.
I love spending this time with you, Chelsea.
It's so good. I love it.
And
drinks.
I also, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is the drinks. I mean.
Right, completely.
The company, too, but the drinks also.
The company
you know
of the drinks. Yeah, totally.
The company of the drinks.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like I'm in the company of the drinks. You're here, too, but the drinks and I are spending time together.
Why do I feel like we're getting quieter on here?
I know.
What is that? Is it we're just not amplified enough? Or we're not?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, today I've got my Mexican coffee going on.
Yeah, I've never had this before.
It's harsh. Mexican coffee is coffee with tequila, which is not your favorite drink.
Well, I don't know if it's anyone's favorite drink.
I have a sipping tequila that a friend of mine got me as a gift, and it's actually not bad. Okay. But the thing is that, you know, when you have tequila, you can always taste it the next day.
Yeah, completely.
Like, it doesn't matter how early you have the tequila, like, the next day, 24 hours later, you can taste it in the back of your throat.
And I feel like tequila is one of those drinks that everyone has a horrible story about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone has a bad tequila story.
Yeah.
You know, so that when, you know, like this morning, you know, hey, do you want some tequila? It's like all these memories come flooded into my head, and it's like, oh God, I really shouldn't. Sure, pour it in my coffee.
If it's not projectile vomiting, it's probably a herpes or something like that.
Yep.
It ends with something. Something not good. Chelsea, I've got to talk to you about something, and it's kind of exciting.
Okay.
So we got an email from a listener.
How cool.
She asked to not share her name, so I will not. But I would like to say thank you so much for reaching out.
That's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We love hearing from you guys in any way or form or whatever.
Yeah, even to criticize, that would be cool. But not only was it super exciting because we got an email to our show.
Yeah.
It's ApPARENTpod@gmail, just in case you want to reach out.
There it is.
It was great because she brought up something that happened to her that was very disturbing. And she wanted us to kind of talk about it because she was asking my advice because I have a teen boy. I have two of them. Mm-hmm. So let me go ahead and bring this up on the show. She, long story short, has a teenager, and we had discussed on the show multiple times about video games and how social media and all these things teens nowadays can get like addicted to it.
Yeah.
And I've had instances with my kids that they have come right in the door after going to dinner and gone right to their devices, whether it be their cell or their computer.
Right.
So long story short, her kid has been doing this for quite some time, and she really didn't think much of it. Mm-hmm. And one day she decided to do a random check. Now, she had mentioned that we talked about that on the show. I'm pretty standard, like very passionate about if your children are on any devices or social media or anything, random checks are mandatory. If you are not doing that, then yes, I'm judging you. I think you are a crappy parent because you are not too busy to do random checks.
Yeah, I think that's important to do that. I'm not at that point yet, but I know that, you know, there's so much out there, you know what I mean, that can just infiltrate their, you know, sponge-like minds. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, you know, why not do that and open the door to conversations or, you know, why this stuff is out there, what this stuff means, you know, and just keep that door open for your kids to talk to you instead of, you know, trying to reach it from some random person out on the World Wide Web.
One of the pushbacks I get every time I say that, Chels, is well, you're taking over their privacy. They deserve privacy. Listen.
Oh, no.
Listen, you deserve privacy. When you go to the bathroom and you lock the door, you have privacy. If you want privacy, you can ask for it at any given point. But when you're underneath my house and all of these things, all of this computer tech stuff is all new. It's new to us even. Think about it. When we graduated, we didn't have the internet. So no, the goal as a parent now is to teach them the right way to use it and to use it in a healthy way, because believe it or not, people, drugs are not the only thing you can get addicted to. Case in point, her child was what she considered addicted to this device. So she finally one day decided she was going to do a random check, and every search on this computer was pornography. Pornography. Now, this brings me to another thing. It's hard because teens, right? I mean, I was a teen. Hell, I'm an adult. Porn is cool sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I had porn when I was a kid. I had VHSs of porn. But you have to, again, I wasn't rushing home to pop it in the VCR and watch it for hours and hours on end. And this is what her teen was doing.
Right.
And I had circumstances with the boys when they were younger where we saw, because we were all sharing the same computer before they had their own, where they were looking at porn, and we had to have discussions with each of them separately on different occasions about it and what is right and what is wrong and why it's not appropriate, but why it's still, I don't know, still normal and natural. Because you don't want to take someone's sexuality, especially in the beginning stages, and make them feel guilty for it.
No, right. And that's right. And that's, I'm over here trying to just think of how to, respond to this. Because, I do feel like, we should play kind of devil's advocate to each other and just open up the conversation and talk about it. Even if, because I do agree with you, about, checking, their devices and stuff, especially when they're under your roof and, living by your rules and they're dependent on you. It's like they can have privacy up to a certain point. But, yeah, when it comes to pornography, it's, like, not yet. You know what I mean? Right. Like, a lot of this, for me, it's like, I'm like, that's what college is for. Like, it's like, and are they exploring their sexuality right now? Yes, of course they are. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not sure how old the listener's child was, but, being in their teens, that's definitely when it starts peaking. It's like, am I gay? Am I straight? What are these feelings? Masturbation, all this stuff is like, oh, well, you're exploring it. You don't know if it's normal. You don't know if everyone's doing it, but you know that it feels good to you. So it's like, well, why? Right. So, so I totally am all for that, especially with, I'm such a huge advocate of like, the gay and lesbian culture and all this stuff because, it has a deep place in my heart. And I want everyone to feel like they're welcomed and supported and loved regardless of what their sexuality is. And because a lot of kids know that so soon, some of them will try to stifle it. And a lot of them will use porn to try to convert themselves to being quote unquote normal. Right. And that's horrible to me. If you are gay, lesbian, if you're, trans, all this stuff, then be who you are, but find people who are going to love you and support you just the way you are instead of trying to fix it, And so we don't know what the purpose was. I mean, you can watch porn, that's the...
Right, she didn't specify what
why.
Type or what type of porn. I don't know
exactly.
But I would assume if it was kiddie porn or something, then she would have said something.
But the fact that they're watching it like every single day, and it's like if you're looking at the history, it's like every single search. You know what I mean? It's not like let's look up the War of 1812 and the Titanic speculations and
going down under. And
right, and then it's like oh, okay, Pornhub. So I don't know. It's a toughie. Nope. Tough situation.
It's a toughie. Yeah.
I was going to say tough and then iffy, and I put it together. So, toughie situation we've got there. Well, it's hard.
There's so many pots in the kitchen, too. Like, think about this. One, the age. One, the sexual, part of that kid is just, the angst is just everywhere.
Right.
The other thing is the addiction factor, distraction factor. And the other thing that she did kind of allude to was the fact that this was all that this kid did. This kid did not go out and hang with his friends or, talk on the phone. Like, he is either playing video games, talking with people online, or looking at porn.
And see, that's where the problem is.
I feel like that's not a healthy thing. Now, Here's what I will say. Dr. Lauren's advice, and I don't by any means mean that I'm a doctor, but I will tell you, if you are listening, which I'm sure that you are, use this opportunity to open a dialogue about it. The main thing is kids are going to do what kids are going to do, and you should always encourage them to test the boundaries and get out of the box and see what is on the other side. That being said, open a dialogue. Make sure that you're saying and explaining to them that, fine, if this is something that you're curious about, let me teach you a healthy way to do that. And so that it's not taking over school and your friends and everything else, you know, your family. And
once it starts infiltrating your life and like taking over, and you're putting that at the top of a priority list, it's like that's when it kind of like, you know, that's when I feel like it is a problem, and that's when the word addiction does come up. You know, because that's, you can look at anything like that, drugs, alcohol. If you're doing things to put this at the top of your list and shutting out things that are necessary that you should be doing as a human being on this planet, then that's where the problem is lying.
Yeah. Well, and you think about sex too. Like, sex is amazing, but if that is number one for a teenager in general, then all these other things that should be top priority at that point are going by the wayside, and that will be the main priority. And one of my biggest fears for her is, wow, so then this teen wakes up and all he's interested in is sex. So if and when he is interested in talking to the girl, what is he going to be looking for?
Well, I don't. This kind of opens the door up to, you know, different things as well, because I have been in relationships with adult men who sex is their number one priority as well, and it's like that. To me, when you're in your mid-30s, are you kidding me? Like, there are things that we need to do on, you know, on top of that, you know, for lack of a better term. You know, there are things that are priorities that need to happen before that does. I understand that sex is kind of like a basic human right, and I'm all for it. I mean, please go ahead. But, you know, also we need to make sure that the kid gets fed, and that, you know, we put the dishes away, and that, you know, so it's like there are things that need to happen that, you know, it's just creating a balance. It's all about balance. You know what I mean? And we've talked about that in previous shows regarding like communication. How communication sounds like a totally normal, easy thing to achieve, but for a lot of people, it's really hard to communicate with other people, and it's all about creating a balance. And I think that this is definitely under that umbrella.
Let me ask you something, Chels. So I know, you know, Chance is young, but knowing that he's going to grow up in this day and age, and this is already something where you brought it up in previous episodes too, there you've seen people with their kids and they just have the device in their hand. You don't raise Chance that way, but knowing that he will also be on devices and have this stuff, does that make you scared or nervous, upset, worried, frustrated? Like, you know, what does that do for you I mean, as a new parent?
I know that he is going to be on devices, you know, and stuff like that. And I have friends that have kids that are Chance's age where they do play on their cell phones or their iPads, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm not opposed to that. Chance, he doesn't play games on my devices. He's never played on any sort of, you know, tablet or phone or anything like that. And so I know that growing up, he is going to have those things accessible to him way earlier than I did. But I think what I'm looking forward to, which is weird to say this, but I think what I'm looking forward to is me finding out what my boundaries are as a parent, and telling him teaching him the boundaries that he needs to have, the balance that he needs to have in life. You know what I mean? Teaching him that, you know, you can do an hour of game time on this device, if this is done. Right. You know, and creating some sort of organizational structure. If it's some sort of chart, some sort of structure, some sort of plan where everything gets done, and then he knows that a reward is coming.
So that's the reward, the treat, as opposed to a way of life.
Right. And I want him to know that there is a balance. Things need to be done before you do this. Things need to be done before you do this. And I think that's what I'm actually looking forward to, that, of creating like realizing how Chance is going to soak in that and listen to what I have to say, and
or not listen.
Right. But yeah, but then figuring out how he is gonna interpret this.
Right.
It's like I think it's like a puzzle to me. It's like and that I'm actually looking forward to, which is weird.
No, that makes sense. It makes sense. What I will say is this, for the parents that don't have the time and energy, or are exhausted, or work 2 jobs or 1 job, or are ill, or whatever it is that is stopping you from staying plugged in to what your kids are doing, they have now options to switch your internet. Like, you can time and attach your kids' devices to the internet where they only get to use it for the 2 to 5 hours a day.
I've totally heard of this. Yes.
Or even for we have
Xfinity,
which hopefully they'll sponsor us now. Because we just brought them up. Anyway,
go Xfinity! We're so proud of you.
They have that option where you can attach the devices and limit the time, so the kids will literally be online and it'll shut down the internet and they won't be able to get on. Or you can also put the parental controls to limit anything. If they're watching a video and there's foul language or whatever, it will not allow you to show that video. Because even like our show, we have to put our show on as explicit because Chelsea cusses way too much.
Fuck yeah.
So because of that, kids would not be able to listen to the show. So I would encourage parents to take that 20 minutes at most, even if you're not tech savvy like myself, to just do it, because they're going to get it anyway with their friends. But again, then that time is limited. It's not constant.
I think that is so smart. It's almost like Xfinity is taking what I'm saying, of creating these boundaries and doing all this and just helping you do it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just sending you in that right direction. Okay, here, since, if you can't do it by yourself, here's one step.
And it costs $8 million probably. I don't know. Right. I don't know how much, but it's probably pricey, but you know what? It's worth it.
Right. Yes.
It's freaking worth it.
$8 million, totally worth it. Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, you had something you want to talk to me about.
I did. That's so true. Thank God we're both here. So yesterday I went to my very first Giants game.
What?
I know. I had never been to AT&T Park.
Did you have a hot dog?
You know what? We actually didn't. And there's a story behind this.
Ball games and hot dogs?
Okay, but we did have vodka and Sprite.
Okay.
Multiple vodkas and Sprites. And then we actually wanted to do this whole food journey thing. We looked up all the food that you can get at the
Speaking
ballpark.
of $8 million, did you bring $8 million? Because
we did not.
Hot dogs are 15.
And we were actually very, very smart with our food purchases. And we found all these different foods that we wanted to try, and we were super excited to go to the ballpark. I went with my friend Sarah. Shout out to Sarah.
Hey, Sarah!
We do a play date once a week with the kids because her child is 5 weeks older than Chance, so they're kind of growing up together.
And she's adorable!
Yes. Her daughter's name is Harmony, and she's actually watching Chance right now.
The best. Thank you, by the way,
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. So I took her we had a mommy day where we were able to go out.
Fun.
And so we went out and we went to all these different, first we get to the park and it was the 3rd inning. We went to the park because we got free tickets because I was in a commercial for the Giants and Uber. Okay.
That's cool.
Right. So I was gonna go. We went there to go watch the commercial, and then we missed it.
Oh,
they played it before we sat down at the seats, and
but the 3rd inning is pretty early too.
That's what I'm saying. I thought they were gonna play it during the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, halftime or something. Is there halftime?
Nope. Whoops.
Oh, wrong sport.
Right. Before they make a goal, and so I found out that we missed it, and I was really bummed out. And I said, well, let's eat everything. Let's just eat all the things.
Because you were emotional eating? Or just because that was the plan also?
Just because I'm, grossly overweight and I can't stop myself.
Stop it.
So we, I'm single, by the way, if anyone is listening. So anyway, we went out and we got these were the things we wanted to get was garlic fries and hot dogs, right?
Oh yeah,
but not like regular hot dogs. I wanted a big ass, thick.
Right. Speaking of porn.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I went to porn. So I went to Pornhub
with corn around it or not, wrapped in something or not.
So, yeah. I wanted a big hot dog, not a regular sized hot dog.
Right, and all beef. It's gotta be not a turkey dog.
Right. Don't embarrass me. I mean, insult me.
Right.
That's what I meant to say. Don't insult me. I wanted a colossal dog. I wanted garlic fries. These are the things that I wanted. So we didn't get those. We got nachos, which were
still good.
Okay.
It's that fake cheese. It's that fake cheese.
Oh, for sure. Good nachos with good fake cheese. There's nothing like it. So we got a really, really kick-ass thing of nachos. We got churros. We got
good.
Pretzels, you know, with like the cheese and the mustard.
Yeah, I was going
to
say pretzels are good with the cheese. It's really just a cheese.
It's all cheese. And then we got this thing. We went to this place where they were advertising this 40 clove garlic chicken sandwich, right?
Oh, see, no. What was that, $80? Was it $80?
Okay, I'm going to need you to hold on about the money.
It was probably $83.
It was not $83. But
all right, then it was $79.83.
And there weren't 40 cloves of garlic in it. And we actually got the chicken sandwich and we were like, "Are you kidding me? This is it?" And we said, "Can you put any, like, it was dry, and we're like, "Can you put sauce on this? Can you put some
some cheese on this?
Anything? Where's your cheese? Where's your cheese?" And so we had to like dress it up a little bit just to make it palatable. And I was like, ugh. So that was a waste. Like, don't ever get that sandwich.
I'm glad you didn't, though, because if they had 40 cloves of garlic, there's no way I would be able to stay with you in the studio right now. It's bad enough you didn't shower today.
Oh, we're putting that on blast. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't shower today, and still single, if anyone wants to. So, God, that's very true. You have nothing bad I could say about you either, because you're like super, like your hair is done, you have makeup on, you changed your clothes probably, and you made me coffee. So you win.
But
on
that's
so many levels.
Days, I mean, there's nothing else I've got to give.
Oh, it's downhill from here.
Yeah,
huh?
I save it all for you.
That's why I'm leaving, because it's like I don't know what's gonna come.
Half hour I can do it, and then back down to.
So anyway, I went to my first Giants game, and while I was there, I saw a lot of kids that were younger than Chance there. So we're talking, I mean, these kids are, 9, 10 months old, maybe 1. A lot of them can't walk. They're in those like wraps or carriers.
Do you have to pay for a ticket for a baby that size?
No, I think the kids are free up until like 2 or 3 years old or something like that.
Oh, that's
cool. And so a lot of them were in there. And so it was just boggling to me. Like, in my head, I never thought to bring Chance to the ballpark. I never thought of that. Because I was like, he will be so overstimulated. I'll be frustrated trying to, like, corral him around these, like, hordes of people. And I said, I think he'll just be a little too overstimulated.
Right.
Like, watching the game and not knowing what's going on. And then all of a sudden people erupting in screams. Right. It's like, he might get terrified. I don't know. And so I was just, I was a little bit taken aback by how many infants I saw at the ballpark. And it's like, but that's a total thing now.
Yeah.
Is that parents, a lot of them don't want to stop what they're doing. They'll take them to concerts. Mm-hmm. They'll take them to festivals. They'll take them to ball games.
Yep.
And it's like, they have these noise cancellation headphones, which is totally a thing. And that's fine. But it's like, how young is too young? Is that a thing anymore? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, again, it's one of those things. I guess they're gonna figure it out at some point anyway, right? I mean, if they don't go with you, they'll go with somebody else. They'll go with their friends.
Right, it's true. And it's like, I want to be there for Chance and like have him experience all this stuff. You know what I mean? But he gets stimulated at the mall.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like, and that's a controlled environment where he's still in his stroller. I'm not going to bring my stroller to AT&T Park. They'll kill me. And so it's like, it's like, how young is too young? And I guess if you can handle it, awesome, go ahead. But I think I was shocked by that.
I'll tell you why I wouldn't take my infant to a ball game. Because the main reason I go to the ball games is for hot dogs and beer. And I couldn't afford to give my kid a hot dog at the ball game. I could get it at home. I could get 4 packs of hot dogs at the store for a fraction.
You got a little bit of a Jersey accent.
Always when I say hot dog. Because I love it. Hot dog or coffee.
But you're not from Jersey. You're from Concord.
No, but I slept with a guy once from Jersey.
Oh, so he put it in you.
He put it in there. You got a little bit of the East Coast in there. Oh, no.
So I don't know. That's what I was amazed by that.
Yeah. Well, but then it wouldn't have been a mommy date either,
Right.
And if this is the first time that you gals got out and got to enjoy each other's company without the littles.
Right.
Then,
And I wouldn't be opposed to taking Chance there, but I would need, like, reinforcements.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Right. Like if there was maybe 6 of us that went for every infant that we had, great. Because then you can pass them off. You know, you can take a break. You can go get a drink. You can go to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. You can have this, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Totally fine. But if it was just me and Sarah and our 2 kids, delete. Well, absolutely
especially
not.
Since they're super mobile now.
Like my God.
It's one thing if you're holding them. Actually, my sister was just talking to me about this, that she got the opportunity to go to the zoo. And she said, well, if I go to the zoo, I want to bring my son, because he's, you know, Ronan, he's 2.5. He'll be 3 coming up. And because he's the one who would love the zoo, right? But she just had Sonia.
Right.
And, you know, she's a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks old. And she said, I just don't know if I want to do both of them, because she's nursing and whatever with Sonia, and he is mobile and running around. And so it's like the same thing. It's like reinforcement. Well, a friend of hers who also has 2 kids says, the more you do it, the better you feel with it. True. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah.
But she said, I'm just not ready yet. Because it's a lot when you think about it. I mean, even at home, she was explaining how she's like nursing her daughter, and Ronan's just running around. Like he's almost using that time as like the opportunity to stick his foot in the toilet, she told me, or, you know, play with her breast pump or whatever it is. And it's nerve-wracking, I would assume.
Right.
I mean,
because it's like, mom is, you know, incapacitated. No one's gonna stop me. What can I put my hands in? And so, you know, but that's how their minds work, and especially like between Ronan's age and Chance's age, you know, what, 1.5 years and 2.5 years. So it's like, you know, that time they're still amazed that they can run around and do stuff. And it's like, what can I do? What can I do? Where can I go? And it's just constant, that it's like, you know, taking them to a place like that where you have to be on it. On it. Right. It would just be, I don't know, it might just be too much.
And I think if you're a sports fan, like those people are probably, the kid probably was wearing a beanie with the team logo and stuff.
Yeah.
These are people who also watch it at home.
Right.
So this eruption of, you know, the loudness and stuff, like, is probably something pretty natural to the kid seeing it.
Yeah.
So being around it and the constant stimulation, which is also another thing I really like about live ball games and football games, or whatever the heck I've ever been to that I've enjoyed hot dogs and beer at. I think the kid probably it'd be more common, but for you don't watch sports on TV, right? I mean, that's not your jam.
No.
So Chance would be like, what? When everybody, I would think he would freak out a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I watch like figure skating. So, you know, like during the Olympics. Like
the Olympics every 2 years. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No. So, right. He hasn't even seen him yet.
So I'm totally a sports person.
He hasn't even seen that. I like log rolling myself, but I...
Right. Gymnastics, synchronized swimming. Give it to me. Yes. Yes.
Oh, man. Well,
So there you go.
Well, congratulations on your commercial.
Thank you very much.
That's really exciting.
I hope to see it one day. That'd be nice.
Keep an eye out. You're a hippie?
I am. I am a hippie for Uber, but it's sponsored by the Giants, so I guess it's a commercial for both of them, for the Giants and the Uber. And what it is like Uber saying that they'll get Giants fans to the stadium by any way possible. So they've got kayaks that are Ubers. They've got inner tubes that are Ubers.
Do they really have that?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, because that'd be damn cool.
I know. And so I was in a double inner tube as a hippie, and I was taking this dude to the Giant Stadium, super hippied out, and that was my way of getting him there, was like paddling him in an inner tube to the stadium.
So you had to go in the bay?
I was in McCovey Cove, right outside the
There's sharks in that water.
Honey, do you know that 2 sea lions crested at my feet?
I hope you got paid $83 at least.
I said, excuse me, if a sea lion bites my feet off, I didn't sign a release for that. Like, I need my toes. Like,
do sea lions do that?
I was terrified to find out. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It was so close to me. I'm not kidding. It was less than 3 feet away from me. And it like came up like out of the water, and someone goes, "It was a dolphin." And I was like,
"Oh, idiot."
But then I was so scared because I was the only one. Everyone else is in boats. Mm-hmm. I was the only asshole in the water.
I can't. That's why I can't go in the water if I can't see the bottom.
And I had sound equipment on me, so I couldn't even get wet. This is legit what happened. This was my whole shoot. I had a sound box on the back of me. I had a microphone hooked up to me. They were like, try not to get wet. I'm in an inner tube.
You're in the water.
In McCovey Cove.
No way.
That was my very first time at AT&T Park in the water where it's like illegal to be in the water. Because of sea lions, I guess.
Yeah, probably. And sharks. No, that's not right.
Oh, man.
Oh, acting life. I love it.
So fun.
Always a new adventure, right?
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to be next. So there it is.
Yep.
I love it.
I was a prostitute one day and then a new mom the next.
Look at
that was probably the biggest
how beautiful
jump, and I did fantastic at both of them.
Yeah, you did. Love it.
I like how I started with the prostitute though, and then was a new mom. It made more sense rationally in my head.
Totally makes.
I was able to say, oh yeah, because I had sex with this John, and then now I'm pregnant, and I just had the baby. So now, of course, I have to do laundry with this amazing detergent with my baby in my arms.
See,
it all made sense.
It totally makes sense. I love it. It's not weird at all to me.
Not even a little bit.
No, not at all.
Cheers, Chels.
Cheers.
To another great one.
Woo! Hey, you can check us out individually on our websites, chelseabeers.com and lauren-kelly.com, to see all the super exciting things we're up to.
And make sure that you like, follow, and share. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter at It's Apparent Pod.
And if you wouldn't mind, please review us. We'd love that.
Yeah, make it count. We out.
Boom. Bye.